So why self-concept is more important than SP manifestation? Simply, it's to keep and live a happy and fulfilling life with your SP, no matter what happens in the 3D. There are many of you on here who when you do get your guys' SP, you overreact and you do something and you lose them. Basically, something triggers you in the 3D that they do, and obviously you don't have a good inner belief system or your own, I guess, a good self-concept of yourself, and you react in the 3D for when they do something. So that's basically like you can get your SP, but then you lose them over and over again with your actions. This is why, I think this is why all the people that they go to these coaches or whatever like that, they go, okay, so what do I need to do? You get them, and then you lose them. Basically, you're not able to keep your SP when you do get them, or maybe you don't even get them at all because your self-concept is so bad because you don't believe that you deserve them. You say, oh, I want them, but then in your head you're thinking, oh wow, there was somebody else, they don't deserve me, why would they pick me, all this other kind of stuff, because you have a bad self-concept. Okay, so this is for people, kind of like if y'all want to skip to the best important parts of the place, I'll put a timestamp here below somewhere. You guys want to hear this is something that I'm doing for people. So I'm offering a service for the first 30 people. I'm going to be, I guess, coaching them, which I never thought I'd be doing this, but I'm really good at self-concept because with my experiences with myself, I kind of dragged myself out of depression, of being suicidal, literally of me being close to ending it all, and here I am today, I'm very happy, and I wouldn't say well accomplished, but my self-concept is way better than everybody else's, despite all the stuff that I have going on with me. So what I'm offering is for the first 30 people. I have this written down, so please excuse me. For a 1.5 hour Zoom call, 1 day a week for a month. So basically, you pay me $100. Show me proof. I have an email up here somewhere showing you guys, I guess, helping you guys through self-concept. We're all gonna work on self-concept, and this is for people who are struggling with SP stuff. If you're getting them and you're losing them, or you have little or no movement, or you're just getting frustrated, or you're seeing things that trigger you in the 3D. This is for people who really need help with this. Obviously, you don't need coaching. You don't need any help with the stuff that I'm saying in this video. It'll help you more than enough, but if you need more help, this is for people like you. So I'll have a little thing here on the side that'll show the services. So basically, it'll be, for the first 30 people, it'll be 1.5 hour Zoom call, 1 day a week at a time that we can both choose. It's good for us. For basically, so 4 times a month, we'll talk and we'll go over, I guess, what's going on. Okay, I have to say this right now. If you please think very carefully if you need this coaching, because I won't be giving any refunds at all whatsoever. This is obviously a cheap service that I'm doing. $100 for a whole month of coaching, basically, for 1 day a week is very, very, very cheap, for somebody like me. But obviously I'm doing this because I'm new to coaching and stuff like that. So obviously I want to test this out and see how well I do. And the only things that I ask you guys to really do is to promise me that you'll only focus on self-concept work, and that you actually listen to the advice that I give. And at the end of the 30 days, I want you to tell me what I did that helped you. And if I didn't, then please tell me. Once again, I'm not offering refunds. This is to help you guys if you're having trouble with getting your desires. I definitely believe that that's probably the problem you guys are having, is self-concept. Because if you could get them, but you just can't keep them, that obviously has to do with self-concept. And other things too, if you're having these negative thoughts in your head saying you're not good enough, that's also self-concept. Obviously you have to, work with both of the things when it comes to self-concept. But if you're doing everything correctly and you're listening to all the advice that you're giving and doing for free, and you're still not getting movement, it's most likely because of self-concept. Because you have some belief inside you that is stopping you from getting your desire. So I'll continue. So like I said, like it says on the side, you need to so email me with your situation, and obviously proof of the $100 that you sent me. We'll do it through Ko-Fi, I guess, because it accepts all payments. A brief summary of your situation and what your desire is, and obviously what day that you want to talk to me and what time. So what day of the week and what time. And obviously I'll see if I have time, because for each day I'm gonna have a maximum of 6 people per day. So if it's not that day, then obviously I can't do that day anymore. And I have my time zone is Pacific Standard Time, and the first call will go over all the stuff that you need to do and all the advice that I'll give. If it goes over an hour and a half, then it's fine, you know, just no more than 2 hours, I guess. But the time frame will be an hour and a half for the first session, and then the rest of the calls will just be for updates and stuff that you know, all is just basically just you coming to tell me how you're doing the week, you know. And obviously at the end of the month, just type me an email on what you learned, and would you come back to coach with me again, you know, some things that I did that you think I could do better, or some things that you like that I did, you know, because obviously it's my first time. So that's all that I'm asking for the $100 for the whole month, you know. Now you're more than welcome to send me an email during the week if you're struggling with something. Obviously you guys can send me an email, but yeah, you guys don't need to, because we'll go over everything that we need within the first call, and all the rest of the time will just be checking up on you, how you're doing, you know, what things you're doing, go over your progress. That's basically what the other times are for. The first call will go through everything that we need to go through. Obviously, you know, you tell me a situation I already read it before then, so I'll have some solutions for you and stuff that you can do, and then we'll go over that. And I have to preface this to say that I'm the type of, I guess, coach you could say, that I'm very brutally honest. I'm very different. I'm not gonna hold your hand throughout the whole thing. I'm not gonna handle you with kid gloves. I'm gonna be blunt and honest with you, what you need to do, and I'm gonna give you my personal opinion on why you think that way. And you may not like it, and it may hurt your feelings, but once again, this is to help you with your self-concept. You know, like I went through all this kind of stuff with no help at all, and I had to go through these tough truths. Sometimes, I guess you could say that my coaching style is like tough love, I guess. You know, like I'm not gonna bullshit you or whatever. I'm gonna tell you the truth. What you need to do, it's up to you to actually keep it. You know, because I can't do the work for you. You know, like I can't be you. You know, like your self-concept. Obviously, you have a really bad self-concept of yourself, which I don't know why a lot of people do, but I know because I've been there, obviously. And once again, you know, I was probably at the worst place ever. I was suicidal, and I went in my life daily, like literally daily. I even got sent to 2 mental institutions because of it. So I've seen the really bad side of life. So if you don't like that kind of style of coaching, then please find somebody else. Please, like, don't come over here and think I'm gonna handhold your hands, you know. Like I don't really know well, I don't know what your situation is, or I don't think that, obviously. But if you're coming to me for help, then, you know, obviously you need something to kick you in the ass to get you to stop thinking yourself badly. Because it's just kind of how I am, you know. It's kind of like, I'm blunt, you know. If I talk to people about it, I'm honest with them, and if they don't like it, then that's on them, you know. But I'm honest, and I don't really like, I'm not really apologetic to it, you know. This is what I'm saying. So that's how I get the coach that I am, I guess. So if this is not for you, then please find somebody else that'll hold your hand and give you kid gloves, treat you like a little baby, you know. Because for me, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm gonna be honest, what you need to do, and you may not like what I have to say. So please understand that, okay? Okay, so here for the video. Okay, so why is self-concept way more important than your SP manifestation? So like I said once again in the very beginning of the video, it's basically to help you to live your life more fuller. So you're not too attached to your person. Because imagine if you already had them. Is your whole world, your whole life can be revolved around your sort of person? You're not gonna go to work. You're not gonna, you know, have a hobby. You're not gonna have fun, you know, because your whole world, your whole life can't be just about your SP. You know, I'm sure you have goals. I'm sure you have dreams that you want to do, you know, because it'll be pretty. I think it's pretty. I don't know how to say that, but why are you living for somebody else? You know, like your life should be complemented by them in some way. You know, obviously, like I guess I don't know how to say that. It's just weird to me that if you're focusing on yourself, then you don't really love yourself at all that much, you know. You think that if you're not doing all these awesome things, or putting your, I guess, person on a pedestal, that they're gonna leave you. That's kind of like the reason why I guess a lot of people do so much for them, is because they don't think that they deserve them, so they overcompensate for the person that they want to be with. You can't put them on a pedestal, because they're human like you and me, you know. Another person that wants them doesn't want them, you know. Like it's just kind of like, it to me doesn't make sense to do that. I don't really know how the analogy to say is just, if you want them, okay, so what happens when you have them then? You have them, and then what? What are you gonna do? Just worship them and for the rest of your life? Not have a life, not spend time with your family, your pets, do things you like to do, go with your friends, or have hobbies, or play games, or have some goals that you have. Like my goal is, I'll give you my goal right now, is obviously I want to be a Twitch streamer. I want to be a streamer, a YouTube, I guess, content creator. That's my goal. Obviously, I don't have that much time to be spending with my SP, you know. Now for me, what I'm saying, what I want to do is obviously my SP will be with me, helping me with my journey. She'll be my helper in this thing, helping me grow together with her thing. You know, she's somebody who wants to do this stuff with me, you know, not somebody who doesn't like to do this. So that's what my SP will be doing for me, because I obviously will be having much time to spend with them. And the time we do spend together will be with them and only them. You can't have all your time spending on your SP. Because what happens when you get them? Exactly, because, okay, cool, you got your SP, now what? What now you're gonna, like I said, this is the reason why, you know, like, to me it doesn't make sense to spend all this time on them, you know? Like, just, obviously it'll be nice to have them. Also, you don't need to have them. Like, they're not, like, can you live without them? Of course you can. You're alive right now, right? You don't have them right now. Are you dead? Are you crippled? Is your heart exploding? Or, like, everything you could say, like, you're alive right now, right? You don't need them. You want them is the difference. Because we need oxygen, we need food, we need water to live. We need those things. Those things we definitely need, otherwise we'll die. You know, we need oxygen. If we can't breathe, then, like, that's something that we need. We definitely need, and we won't live. But you don't necessarily need your person. You know, you want them. That's kind of like the difference. And this is why self-concept to me is very important, because you're not focusing on them. Obviously, when you want to be with them, then it'll be nice to have them. It'll be nice to have them, but you don't need them. This is why self-concept is very important, because when in your life, you're not going to give everything to them. You know, you'll be with them. If you want to spend 24/7 time with them, I guess, okay, cool, that's what you want, but I don't think it's that healthy, you know, like, because I'm sure they want to do other things and they want to do awesome stuff with you, you know. So for me, it's just, obviously you could get them, but you push them away, you know. And obviously too, the main thing is if something that they do or something that they used to do will trigger you, you won't go to the bad thing, you know, because I guess some people act like they don't message you right away or whatever, or they take hours or whatever. Like somebody who doesn't have good self-concept is like, oh my gosh, he cheated on me, oh my god, he's with some other girl, oh my god, why is he not replying to me, what is wrong with him, like, I hate him, I'm breaking up with him, or like all this stuff is going through your head. You know, that's a really bad self-concept that you guys have. You know, that's not healthy. Like, if you have a good self-concept, then okay, cool, they're probably working, maybe they forgot, like, they're doing something, you know, because you have to understand that people have lives outside of you. They have a job, they have things that they want to do, they have dreams, they have things that they want to do, you know. So if your self-concept is bad, then you're gonna think that any time that something that you think is bad is not really bad. Maybe they really are doing something that they can't. Maybe they're going through stuff. Maybe something bad happened. Maybe they get an accident. You don't really know. I'm not saying they're gonna accident half the time. Most likely it's just them working, or they're busy doing something. You know, they're focusing on something and they forget. Sometimes it's just that. Because you can't always think negative in those kind of things, you know. And another reason for good self-concept is if you don't like being around yourself, then why would somebody else want to be around you? That's something that you got to realize. If you don't enjoy your own company and you think that you're not worth anything, then why would somebody see your worth then? If you don't think you're worth it, then why do you think somebody else will? You know, if you have a bad self-concept, it's going to be reflected. Like, I believe it's Neville Goddard's teaching that said everyone is you pushed out. So if you see yourself that way, then they're going to reflect it to you. And so if you have a good self-concept and you're a catch and you're, like, it doesn't matter what your circumstances, because circumstances don't matter. Like, I've seen countless examples of dudes who are overly grossly overweight that have regular jobs and yet they're with girls. Like, I saw this photo of this dude had this hot big titty goth girl, whatever, you know, and he was like a humongous dude with like an anime shirt on, like with a beard. I think it was a beard, I don't know, man, but he was overly fat, and you see them holding hands and she's not really cringing, and you see them, picture of them holding hands and the picture of her kissing him, you know, and she's not like and the dude's like, I want this. It's like there's millions of examples of dudes who you would think would not have girls like that, but yet they do. It's their self-concept. So the way you look right now, it doesn't really matter. You could be overly weight, like you could have no teeth, you could be balding, you could have all these kind of bad things, but if your self-concept is good, I know it's kind of hard to believe, you know, but I see it. If it wasn't true, then why would these dudes have these beautiful, cute girls, you know, like that they don't deserve, you know, that you would think that they don't deserve? It's their self-concept, because they have a good self-worth of themselves, you know. Like, there are dudes, I'm not sure if you guys know, there's this dude named Papa Meat, I think. Papa Meat, I'm sure you guys seen this dude. He's the one of the biggest YouTubers, dude. And this dude he's not a very good looking dude, but yet he has all these followers, all these amazing things, and he's a good. I think he's a good. He's a really good artist, and he makes really funny skits, you know. But there are a lot of people who are like that, and yet they don't have the following as him, you know. And it's his self concept. He believes that his stuff is really good. Obviously, he has a really good self concept in the stuff that he does. You know, his stuff is kind of cringy, obviously, but I think he's doing it obviously out of fun, you know. Like it's the joke, and people see it as a joke, you know. It's a self concept. All these other people who have, there are a lot of pretty girls that are on YouTube and or on OnlyFans or whatever, all these things that they're doing, and yet they're not making the money that, you know, all their other counterparts are doing, you know. Like it's self concept. All these things that people have, they think that they're gonna make money off it, but they don't have a good self concept belief, you know, because they have the look and they have the lifestyle, but yet they don't have the results, right? It's self concept. Okay, so I'll give you a very prime example of bad self concept and good self concept. So I'll give myself an example. When I was younger, I had a really bad self concept when it came to myself. Now I guess my concept was kind of weird, at least I think, because even when I was younger, I would get a ton of girls' attention because I was a really good looking kid, you know. Back then, I would literally just be walking down the street and a girl would like get out of the car from her parents when I was like, I think 14 or 15, and they were the same age as me, obviously. We went to high school together or whatever, and they'd talk to me and then we would, you know, do stuff, quote unquote, you know. And I always had a belief that I guess girls always liked me, I guess. Back then, I really don't remember, but I also had a really bad self-concept about myself, you know. Like I didn't want to live anymore, you know, because I didn't think I was worth living, you know, and that kind of reflected around me, because I would get bullied a lot by a lot of people. But then I would have girls that would be there for me, you know. It was kind of like a really weird self-concept that I had, but that's what would happen. You know, I would try to, as much as I could, I think every daily or whatever, I would try to end my life. You know, I think it weighs every single day to just end my life. You know, I didn't like my life, you know. It was really bad when I was younger, because a lot of horrible things happened to me when I was a kid, and I blocked it out for a very long time. And my first attempt at, you know, this, I was in middle school, and I was in a play, and we were, I guess, rehearsing or something, and I just walked down to the street about to be hit by a car, and then one of my friends saved me, and then they called the police, and my mom and my dad got called in, and I got sent to a mental institution, and the ambulance people, when I was going to the place I was going to, were treating me really bad. They were saying these awful things to me, you know. I was strapped into the little the thing so I couldn't move or whatever, and they brought me to this mental institution for the very first time. And the people there I truly saw were suffering from depression. I'm not saying that my depression wasn't that bad, or people who were like me, just it was really bad. I saw the worst, like, things that they were doing to themselves. They had really bad self-concept. There were these girls that would cut themselves, the dudes who were angry. Like, I saw like the worst, and there were children like the same age as me, around my age, going through this stuff. And after that, like, I got sent again after trying to end my life again for a second time. And the second time I actually had one of my friends who, I guess, passed away in a car accident. No relation, I guess, to that, but the only two people that ever visited me at that place was somebody because I was in a choir when I was younger, like a church choir, and this person came in with some other dude who I guess was kind of like a leader of the choir, and this girl, she was like a very peppy chick, you know, I think she loved everybody, you know. She would light up a room, you know, and I miss her a lot. But anyways, I'm not gonna say her name or anything like that because of her family, whatever. But she visited me and she gave me like a teddy bear, and she couldn't give me the teddy bear because the people they didn't allow it because they thought it had razor blades inside it. Just kind of funny, I guess, if you think about it. But yeah, but I kind of went through that, and when they passed away, I had those two people that came to visit me. They passed away in a car accident, I think like a year or so later, and I was very sad. I think that is probably what took me to enjoy my life more, because they were no longer here on this planet. You know, they're still not here, but they passed away in a tragic car accident, you know. Like, my friend died, the girl, she died instantly impact, and the dude, he died a week later, and his father took him off life support. It was probably the worst feeling I ever had in my entire life, but I lost some people that I cared about, because they were there for me, and I wasn't a good kid. I wasn't a good teenager. I was one of those rebel teenagers, like that would did whatever he wanted, didn't care about the consequences of anybody, because I was that messed up in the head. Because I just didn't care, you know. I did things, and I guess girls like that. Like, oh, look at this bad boy. I wasn't trying to do it because I was a bad boy. I really didn't care about life. You know, I didn't care about the whatever happened around. But like, obviously, I didn't do it. Like, I wasn't like reckless, and I would do things and that people didn't like. You know, I would just go off on my own, I guess, and just stay with the group or whatever. So I wasn't doing anything too terrible. I would just go out and hang out with my friends. That's all I would do. And I would stay out later than I would because my mom would get mad and have to be home at a certain time. And you know how parents are, you know, when you're around that age. Be home at this time. I didn't want to be home because I hated being at home. I hated being home. I really hated it because I lived in a smaller bedroom than this that I'm living in right now. But I slept on the couch or on the floor of like a little carpet because we only lived in one bedroom, you know. My mom and my sister had the bed in the room, and I slept on the floor in the room with my dad. You know, it was horrible. Like I really did not want to be home at all whatsoever. I hated being home. You know, I hated it. I was just a teenager, you know, and my parents, they couldn't control me, you know. They couldn't tell me anything to do, you know. I was close to being an adult. So they just get mad at me all the time and tell me that, you know, there's nothing they can do, you know, because I wasn't doing anything wrong. I'll just be out late. You know, I wasn't breaking any laws, you know, I wasn't doing drugs or anything like that, even though my friends were doing drugs at the time or whatever. Something about me that I guess I always didn't like. I didn't like drinking or doing drugs, you know, I hated it. Because I saw how bad that kind of like affected people. I had a friend, once again, a long time ago, who she overdosed. And she was a really close friend of mine that I loved a lot. You know, I wouldn't say she was a girlfriend, just somebody that I really connected with. And she overdosed on drugs. I'm not gonna say, well, I'm not gonna say her name because, you know, her family's purpose or like that, but I've had people die in my life, and that really affected me. I'm like, wow, I don't know what, I wanted to live, you know? I want to live a life happy. I guess I'm not really sure if they're dead, because I didn't really believe in God back then. I don't really know what my belief was. Because I would go to church, my mom forced me to go to this church group, you know, with the people that I talked about, you know, and I had a really good time hanging out with them and being around them, you know? Like, we would just have fun and play, because I played guitar in the choir, and I sucked at it. I wasn't a good guitar player. I was forced to be in it, you know, but I did have fun, you know. I don't regret being in the choir that I was in, you know. I had a lot of fun, and I did learn about some stuff, you know. But like I said, once I was growing up, I kind of got myself out of this situation, because I realized that once I was 18 years old and I did this again, I'd be sent to a really bad mental institution. Because the last mental institution that I went to, it was connected to the adults one, and the last one, I almost died. Like, a lady, some crazy lady, she walked into my room, because obviously the doors aren't locked, you can't lock them. And I was in the bathroom taking a shower, and I remember I came out of the shower and I didn't know this happened until somebody told me. Like, the kids that were there, they just watched this lady walk in, because the adult insane asylum was literally right next to the kids. And obviously there was, she just walked in, and literally she went into my room when I was taking a shower. She took the shower, and then she was about to open my door, and then for whatever reason she just, I think, oh no, yeah, because somebody saw her going to there, and the adults, and they got her, and they walked her back out. And the dude, I think one of the dudes that told me that she was a extremely violent lady, so she would have, and I think she had something in her hand. They said that she had a knife, I think. I don't know if they're lying about this or trying to scare me, but she had a knife in her hand. They didn't know how she got it, but she was literally about to be in there to kill me. Like, it was kind of like a funny thing. And I realized then that I didn't want to have to go through this. So I really needed to fix myself, because I didn't want to be sent to an adult mental institution, because I know they're the worst. I saw it with my own eyes, you know, because it was right next to it. I walked through it and I saw how bad that those people were treated. So I was like, okay, I need to not be messed up in the head. I need to fix myself. So I had a girlfriend at the time, you know, and I was with her, and I moved in with her and with her family, and I was paying rent for a while. And then she cheated on me, and then I moved to Vegas, and then I lived my life out there, and, you know, I had fun in Vegas, you know, for a bit, you know, but then some other things happened to me over there, and I moved back to my family. Just during that time, I was very happy, you know, despite not having anything having in place. I was paying $500 for a studio apartment, which is insane now, you know. And I had a job that I liked. I didn't have a car or anything. I had a bicycle that I would ride to work, you know. And back then, you know, like, I was a kid. I was like 19 years old, because I moved out 18. Well, I think 18 going to 19, whatever. Because I didn't want to be around my ex that was there, because I would see her all the time on the bus, you know, and I would go to work, and I just couldn't take it anymore. So I just moved out, because my job that I used to work at is Fry's Electronic, which it's no longer business, which is crazy. So I transferred to the Vegas store, which is another thing that I did with the manifestation. You know, like nobody ever transferred before, so I did that. I was like, I don't care anymore. I just moved there. So like I said, I was doing manifestation stuff without even trying to, but I moved all this. I moved very far away, and my self-concept was pretty good. I was having a lot of fun. I didn't get with anybody in Vegas or like that, but I did meet some pretty cool people and connect with some people that did help me out. You know, a kid with a 19-year-old kid, you know, who just had a job that just paid rent. And I gradually learned, and I saw through. I think that life is worth living. You know, I was done being suicidal. I was done not not really trying to kill myself, whatever like that, but just loving my life. You know, I loved it, and I gradually started saying more and more enjoying my life and being around people. And I don't really know when I started changing to be a happy-go-lucky dude, because I was still kind of a quiet person. You know, I was very quiet and silent, and I would have fun with people. You know, with like, I would only express myself with people. And I don't know, obviously my self-concept I got a lot better, you know, because I wasn't, you know, trying to actively, you know, die, you know, trying to, you know, and I was just happy. And then I realized, once I started getting to law of assumption and learning about self-concept, that I still had a bad self-concept, because I didn't think I was deserving, even though I was way better than I was, you know, back then. Because obviously, like, it just, the levels that I had, it was good, you know, like, but it wasn't as better as it was. So obviously these past couple years, it took me a while to understand what was wrong with me, you know, because I would have these thoughts like everybody else does, that why would this person like me? Why would I get this job? Why do I deserve it? Why would anybody want to talk to me? Why would anybody want to be my friend? Stuff like that. And I still had friends, you know, but then those people would betray me, and then I would get, you know, because I have a bad self-concept with friends and then girls, you know. But then I didn't really have trouble with girls. I didn't want to be with anybody, you know, really. I just don't want to be with anybody, because like I said, you guys saw in the videos that I have previously, I'll get cheated on and I'll get betrayed, and people would like just use me for stuff, you know. Even though I wasn't rich, but they used me for just stuff, you know, because I knew a lot of people. Like, they would use me for that, you know, I guess for my connections, and then they would just kick me to the curb, you know. And then the people that I would connect, they would kick me to the curb too, you know. Because like, oh yeah, we used him for what he needed for, whatever, getting more people, or with the girls, whatever. Because I always hung out with a lot of girls, really hot girls, you know, very beautiful young girls, you know, at the time, because I was the same age as them, you know, in my 20s, you know. And I'm just naturally good with talking with girls. I don't know how that became a thing. I was myself, you know. I was like, oh yeah, hey, how's it going? I didn't really care about what they thought. I never tried to get with any of them either, you know, because I don't want to be with anybody. But then they would gradually try to get with me, and then we'd do stuff, quote unquote, whatever, and then it would never work out, because once again, my self-concept was just bad. I would get with them, but I never really kept them, you know. And the last relationship that I was probably in, maybe like a year, it was kind of a crazy relationship, you know. Once again, bad self-concept, because I thought that I deserved the worst, you know. And I got the worst of a girl that was good in the beginning, that she turned crazy. Once again, it was my fault for my beliefs, you know. And now that I am now here where I'm at right now, kind of like to wrap it up all with the bow, whatever. Like, now I don't care about what girls I get, or, you know, how my life is, because I'm really happy with my life, you know, despite me not having much right now, because I know I'm gonna get everything that I want, you know. Like, I'm happy with me living where I'm at right now. I'm happy with, I currently don't have any friends, but I know I'll find some friends, you know. I do know a lot of people that will probably reconnect with me, because that's what I'm manifesting, you know. And I know that they want to see me, because I've always been a good guy. I've always been like a very happy and good dude. I know for a fact that everybody that was involved with me, they cannot say one bad thing about me, because I was always polite, always respectful. I never once tried to get at them ever in my entire life. And if it was, just to hang out every now and then, and if they didn't, I left them alone. You know, I would talk to them every couple times. Hey, how's it going? Want to hang out? We're gonna do this thing with everybody else. They want to reply to me. Okay, cool. I did it like a couple times, and when stopped replying, I just left it alone. And if I ever saw them again, I never brought it up. I was like, hey, how's it going? You know, like, completely forgot about it. Even though I kind of knew, like I said, once again, my bad self-concept, but still, I understood that, because this is my belief. Back then, is like, everybody that saw me, they can't say a bad thing about me, because all I was respectful, and because I was respectful. I never tried to get at them. I never tried to, you know, get with them or try to do anything with them, or, you know, because I was just a fun dude. I had a good vibe, you know. Everybody loved me, and everybody would talk to me like, yep, he's a good dude. That's all they would say. Yep, he's a good, chill dude, you know. And the girl was like I said in another video, I'm sure you guys hear it, oh, well, if I said it, but a lot of girls had crushes on me, and I didn't know about it until they told me, and then they made out with me or whatever, and then I was like, what the fuck, and then that was it, you know? I didn't know that either, because I'm not sure if it was my self-concept or whatever, but I don't know, man, like, maybe I had a thought that they had a crush on me or whatever, they liked me, and then I think maybe my friend, I think I told my friend one time, oh yeah, you're, like, I know your friends like me because of stuff they did, she wouldn't believe me, and then she would see it, it's like, wow, I think it is that, you know? I would tell her, hey man, your friends like me. She goes, no, they don't. I'm like, okay, whatever. And then they would do something crazy. It's like, oh yeah, they do. Like, I'm like, dude, why don't you believe me, dude? I know when a girl likes me. It's because the girls that I was around, they didn't believe it. Because I guess like I said, once again, my self-concept, you know? Because I think I deserved it. But I always knew in the end that they would prove it, you know? My friends would be like, yeah, I was wrong about it, you know? Like I said, my self-concept, you know? So that's kind of like a gist of what I am, where I'm at right now. I have a really good, like, I don't care about anything right now. I'm happy, I'm alive, I have food, I'm gonna make this channel, I'm gonna help people out, you know, with their self-concept. I know I'm gonna help people out, you know. I know they're gonna learn something, at least one thing from me, to be a better person of themselves, you know. So if you guys are interested in the kind of stuff, once again, you know, like, you guys saw the stuff I have, you know, everything is down in the description below if you guys want to email me for any other stuff or services that I have, you know. Obviously it's not the end of the video, but I'm just gonna stop talking about, like, my self-concept, whatever. Okay, so the other thing about self-concept that I think it is to stop thinking that you don't deserve the stuff that you want, you know, because we all deserve everything that we want, you know. That's what God gives us, I guess, the desire to have it. Like Neville Goddard says, or Seth says, I forget, if we didn't have the desire, that means we didn't want it. I mean, it's not it's already ours, you know. Can I forget what the saying is, because I haven't studied Neville in a bit, but if you desire it, then it's yours already. You already have it in a reality that we all live in, you know. Like, if you have the desire, then it's yours already. You just got to select it over and over again, you know, to get it, you know. Once again, you know, I'm sure you guys know the science, whatever. You guys study Neville Goddard or any other teacher, you know, to get your desire, just to go to live in the end, that you have your desire, and just live like that, you know. Just be happy and grateful that you have it, and don't think negative. Don't think of any opposing thoughts, you know. Because all you're doing is, if you have a positive thought and negative thought, all you're doing is canceling it out, you know. So say you have a positive thought of something that, oh yeah, I'm happy to get it, then no, I can't have it. You just cancel out the positive again, so you're neutral. If you have more negative thoughts than your positive thoughts, then the negative thoughts are going to overwrite the positive, because you're having more negative thoughts than the positive. So that's why the reason why self-concept is good, because you don't think negative things anymore, you know. You'd be like, yep, I do deserve this. Yep, she does love me. Yep, I am a catch. Like, no other person's gonna treat them the way that I make them feel, you know. Because I am my own human person, and nobody would ever make them happy as much as I make them happy, you know. Like I said, self-concept, you know. Like, it's true. It is very true. They won't feel the same with any other person that you treat them as, because nobody could treat them as you treat them, you know. Because you're your own unique person to treat them, you know. Okay, so, like, your beliefs about women or guys or money, you know, like, that you don't deserve it, like, all you're doing is just, like, you have to reverse that kind of stuff, you know. You are deserving of the money that you want, you know. Like, think of all these examples. This is what helps me. There are a lot of people that have a lot of money. Do you believe that they deserve it? You know, the people that the way that they act or they treat people, you know, there are people who treat people miserably, who have really bad jobs, or, I mean, well, you know what I mean. Like, there are countless examples of people who are not good people, and yet they have all the things that you want, you know. Because it's not about being a good person or a bad person, because there are good people that have really bad lives, but there are bad people that have really good lives. Explain that to me. You know, with the stuff that I guess you hear about, or you know that they're bad people, and yet they have the life that they want. Because it's not about whether you're good or bad. It's about your self-concept of what you deserve, you know. Those people have really good self-concept. They're really greedy people, you know, because they're like, yep, I deserve this money, I deserve all these awesome things, and they get them, you know. That's another reason why the self-concept, and of course there's kind of examples of women being with bad people. You know, why would you, okay, how does that make sense? It's their self-concept. Like, yep, it doesn't matter what I do to her, she's gonna come back. Isn't that a good concept? It's not a very good self-concept, but it exists, you know. That's why I believe there's no morality, you know. You shouldn't really care about the morality of things, because people have things whether you're moral or not, you know. The world doesn't really react to the morality of anything, you know, because bad people live and good people die, right? That's why there's the saying that good people, they die more often than the bad people, because the bad people are more selfish than the good people. Isn't that right? That's why there's more, I guess what you guys could say, more evil people in the world, you know? And the good people, they sacrifice themselves for the greater good, You know, if you guys kind of see that kind of stuff, you know, like 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 I said, self-concept, you know. That's why your bad beliefs about men or women, that's why they always come true. Because your belief is like, yep, doesn't matter what girl I get, she's just gonna be a gold digger. Doesn't matter what guy I get, they always turn bad. You know, it's your self-concept of what you believe. You really have to stop thinking those things. You know, you have to reverse it. Because I'm sure there are examples in your life where you have somebody being good to you. You know, there's some good examples in your life where there are, because it can't be, the world can't be just all bad people. You know, they exist good and bad. All you're seeing is just the bad. You're putting your focus into the bad. You're not putting the focus on the good. So if you do see a bad thing, then just, nope, just an outlier or whatever you want to say with yourself, you know, that'll change it. Because of course there's good and bad in the world, you know. Just don't put your focus on the bad. Only put your focus on the good that you see, you know, the stuff that you want to see. You know, if something bad happens, like, okay, cool, just be like, okay, that's just one of the examples. I'm not going to focus on it, just move on, you know. Because there are good people in this world. There's plenty of good relationships that work, you know. Like, all you're seeing is just the bad. All they're seeing is just the negative. Same thing with the guys that believe that all women are gold diggers, you know. Like, you can't, if that's all you see, then it's all you're gonna attract. You attract what you put your focus on. Where your energy flows, I mean, where you put your focus on is where your energy flows. I forget what the saying is. I think it's put your energy flows. I forget what the thing, but if you put your focus on something negative, you're gonna put your energy towards it, I guess. Is it kind of the thing that I'm saying? I forget what it is, you know? So focus on the good. Do not focus on the bad. Focus on the good that you see. Focus on stuff. So you have to stop thinking, because there are clear examples of women being good in their life, you know? Like, there are plenty of examples of that. Just stop believing in the negative stuff, you know? Stop believing in all those negative things. If you truly believe that you can have your life, because if you believe in law of assumption, then you know you get anything that you want. So then believe it. You know, you are God. You know, if you believe in good self-concept or Neville Gutter's teachings or Seth or whatever, then you do deserve the good stuff that you want. You know, just continue to choose the good. You know, continue to see the good in people, the good in life. You know, so this is why, you know, self-concept matters. Because even if you do get everything you want, it's gonna be taken away from you because you don't have a good self-concept to keep it. You don't have a good self-concept to keep this stuff. You could get it easily, you know. That's why some people get the manifestations, but then they lose it. Some people win the lottery, and then after 5 years they lose it all. Can you guys kind of understand what I'm saying? Those people have bad self-concepts because you could win the lottery, but will you keep the money for the rest of your life? Because the money that the people get, I'm sure you guys could literally see countless stories of people win the lottery and then they lose it all within like a couple years. They have to see that, because it doesn't matter. They're back to living in the life that they had, you know. Like, it's crazy. Wouldn't you keep that money for the rest of your life if you had a good self-concept or money management, whatever? Those people obviously had bad money management. They gave their money away like nothing to people that didn't need it, or they spent it on stupid things that they didn't need. They bought stupid houses, mansions that they couldn't afford to pay for years. You know, you could literally live off of that money, the millions of dollars that they had, on a small apartment, like a decent 2-3 bedroom size apartment, for the rest of your life. Just and then work a regular job or do the stuff that I'm doing, you know, maybe make a Twitch or content creation channel, you know. They make money on that, you know, invest your time and money into your business. But those dudes, they just spent their money. Like, there's countless examples of people who don't have good self-concept. They get the things that they want, but then they lose it. This is why self-concept is more important than getting your SP. You focus on self-concept, then it doesn't matter if your SP does something that you don't like, because you just say, like, you're not going to think it's bad, because you put your focus on the good. So because you don't know, once again, what they're doing is bad. It could be something that maybe they're probably a surprise party for you. Maybe they're doing something special for you. You have no idea what it is. It could be a million reasons. Maybe something happened to them that they're concerned about and they don't want to tell you, you know. There's so many things you guys can't be focusing on in the negative. That's why the self-concept is really good. So I'm going to end this video here. If you guys really did enjoy the video, I appreciate a like and a comment. And once again, for the people that need help, you know, I said it in the thing. Just, yeah, email me and then we'll talk. Remember, it's only the first 30 people, because I'm only one person, you know. I can only do six people a day. You know, obviously I want to have time to myself and live my life too, you know. So, yeah, I appreciate you guys watching this video, and hopefully this helped you understand some better stuff about self-concept. Yeah, you guys have a great day. Peace.